Welcome to Stat School. We are excited to show you how to use STATDOG and provide a glimpse into how your stat pack will provide up to the second insight into the performance of your team and players. Let's start with a brief overview of navigation. As a stat taker, you can access upcoming games by selecting Games on the light blue horizontal bar. Once you locate the game for which you will be recording stats, click on that game. You will then be taken into the first quarter of the game and presented with 6 areas of input, along with an input log at the bottom of the page. You will be able to see not only your inputs, but also those of any other stat takers for your team. We recommend having at least 3 stat takers to divide up the responsibilities. To do this, select roles on the dark blue horizontal bar. Unselect any roles you are not responsible for, then hit Save Updates. To return back to the input buttons, click on Stats on the dark blue horizontal bar. The final navigational item you will want to become familiar with is the selection of quarters. When a quarter is completed, ensure you proceed to the next quarter by tapping Q2, Q3, or Q4. Let's talk about penalties. Recording a penalty on the opposing team is simply a matter of tapping the button labeled them. At the top of the screen, a green box will indicate our man-up opportunity. A red box will also appear. When the penalty is released, hit End to close out the penalty. When the penalty is on our team, you will also be prompted to identify the player to whom the penalty is attributed and hit Done. You will now see a red box indicating that this is a man-down situation, along with another red box identifying the player. If multiple penalties occur, you can select multiple players before hitting Done. When a penalty is released, tap End to close out the penalty. Please note that for penalties incurred near the end of a quarter, StatDog will automatically carry them into the next quarter. No additional steps are needed. It is also important to make sure that any goals scored during the time in which a player is being penalized are input before the penalties are ended. This ensures that a goal is recorded as a man-down failure or man-down success. We strongly recommend that the person who keeps track of penalties also records shots. Your efforts will help provide vital data on the offensive efficiency of your team in man-up situations, as well as how the defense rises to the occasion when faced with challenging man-down scenarios. Let's talk about the possession time role. When our team obtains possession, it means they gain the ability to carry, cradle, pass, or shoot. Simply tap us under possession times, and you will see a timer start running. If we lose the ball and no one has possession, or if the ball has been lost out of bounds, select None to stop the timer. When the opponent gains possession, select them to start their timer. If we intercept their pass while their timer is running, simply select us, and it will stop their possession and begin ours. The data you collect will provide your coaches with insight into time of possession for both your team and your opponent. StatDog digs even deeper, revealing average time of possession and efficiency. Let's talk about the shots role. A shot occurs when an offensive player propels the ball towards the goal with intent of scoring. Under shots, you have goals saved, missed, and blocked for both our team and the opponent. When one of those buttons is selected for our team, it will ask for the player who shot. When you select goal, a window will also pop up asking if there was an assist, and if there was, who had the assist. For your opponent, when a goal or save is recorded, it will ask for which of your goalies was on the field, or which player on your team blocked the shot. While the field officials will clearly identify when a goal has occurred, an assist is not always easy to identify. An assist occurs when a player passes the ball with the intent of the recipient shooting and scoring. If a player is cutting and receives a pass, then shoots, an assist has occurred. If a player receives a pass and steps back to create space, then dodges and shoots, an assist has not occurred. Let's also talk about a miss versus a save. The key here is to ask, if the goalie were not there, would the ball have gone into the goal? That means if the ball is shot and hits the frame of the goal, or what we call the pipe, and it does not go in, it is a missed shot. The goalie being there would not have changed the outcome. If the goalie deflects a ball off his stick that otherwise would have gone in, then it hits the pipe and does not go in, it is a save because his action affected the outcome. StatDog seamlessly turns your observations into player performance data beyond goals and assists. Your coaches now have access to scoring percentage, shots on goal percentage, and even the number of shots saved. Let's talk about the ground balls and turnovers role. We have 3 input options for the ground balls and turnover role: ground ball, stole ball, and turnover. When one of these inputs is selected for our team, it will ask who the stat can be attributed to. When a ground ball or turnover is selected for the other team, no player identification is needed. However, when stole ball is selected for them, it will ask which player on our team is responsible for losing the ball. Let's talk about the nuances of this role. When no team is in possession of the ball and there is contention between the teams, then one team gains the ability to carry, cradle, or shoot that ball. A ground ball is awarded. Please note, if a player drops a ball under his own volition and there is no opposing player within 5 yards to contest the ball, regaining control is not a ground ball. For a stolen ball to be recorded, one team's action forces another team to give the ball up, such as a check by a defenseman or an intercepted pass. A turnover is recorded when one team gives up the ball without the force of the other team, such as a pass out of bounds or stepping unforced into the crease on the offensive end. This deep data identifying effort that affects possession, such as ground balls and cause turnovers, as well as data revealing opportunity for improvement in turnovers and shots saved, can be vital to coaches in understanding and communicating with players, their impact on the field. Let's talk about clears. A clear is an attempt from one team to move the ball into the offensive area from its defensive area. If the game format calls for a shot clock, a successful clear is when one team crosses the midfield line with possession. If a shot clock is not being used, a clear is successful when the clearing team possesses the ball in the offensive box. There are 2 possible inputs for each team, success and fail. A simple tap on one of these buttons will complete the data entry. We now have quarter-by-quarter data showing how we maintain possession during a clear and how well we attack their transition game with our rides. Let's talk about faceoffs. When a faceoff occurs, select the team that gains possession of the ball, either us or them. Selecting either button will ask which of our faceoff players was involved in the faceoff and credit them with a win or a loss. Please know that the winner of the faceoff does not need to be the player who obtains possession. If the faceoff person successfully pushes the ball to their wing player or boxes out the opponent, allowing possession to be obtained, they have done their job and won the faceoff. This will provide your coaches with not only win percentage by your faceoff players, but also key insights into quarter-by-quarter season-long trends. Let's briefly go over what to do in case of an overtime period. Simply go to the dark blue horizontal bar and scroll to the right. Find and select periods. Near the bottom of the period screen, there will be an option to add OT period. Select that option, then hit Update Periods at the bottom. Now, when you go back to stats using the dark blue bar, you will have the ability to select an OT period in which to enter stats. Only one stat taker needs to do this, and it will be updated on all stat takers' screens. Lacrosse is the fastest game on 2 feet, and a lot can happen in just a matter of seconds. Even with 3 or more stat keepers recording stats, mistakes are bound to happen. Let's say we record a goal and an assist, but later find out another player should have been credited with the assist. Stats can be easily edited or deleted by going to the log at the bottom of the page and selecting one of the icons on the right side. As you can see here, I am easily able to correct the stat and ensure the correct player is awarded with the assist. If you run into any issues, we are here to help. Please feel free to reach out to us at support@statdog.live.